What is up, NBA fans, Toronto Raptors fans, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports, where I'll be doing a live play-by-play for tonight's game of the Toronto Raptors versus what's left of the San Antonio Spurs, as they are dealing with a depleted roster. But you know what? They've been finding ways to win, and if the San Antonio Spurs, find a way to win tonight, missing Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Blake Wesley, Isaiah Roby, and I think that's it. Not to mention they waived a player not too long ago. I'll be very impressed with the big thing is they're missing their two top scorers. Well, as far as I can tell, the Raptors will be at full strength. I saw Fred VanVleet was questionable before the game, but I haven't seen anything updated saying he's out. So it'll be the regular starters and backups for the Raptors and for the Spurs. It's going to be another fluctuating starting lineup. You guys see the starting lineup in the chat, not what we're used to. Trey Jones, Romeo Langford, who has played admirably in many players' absences, so this is his chance to shine. Keita Bates-Diop, Jeremy Sohan is back, and Jakob Poeltl. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Veronica, he's been a valuable asset off the bench, though. We need the scoring off the bench. Brian, thank you for stopping in. Melissa, good evening. Fleet is out. Okay. And there's the injuries. Thanks to Luke there. Spurs, Keldon Johnson day-to-day, Isaiah Roby day-to-day, Devin Vassell day-to-day, Blake Leslie, our rookie, who's looked good in limited action. Torres MCL, not going to need surgery or anything serious. Well, serious enough to keep him out for 2 months. It's your boy Rico, Raptors fan. What's going on? Phil, what's going on? Hey, Jeremy Sohan's multi-haired haircut. My last unboxing video. That's a gentleman that sent me the package. I got this Keldon Johnson jersey on. It's a little big for me, but I was like, you know what? If I find me a Miss TSR Sports, this is going to be an amazing nightgown for her. That's a big if. And yes, there actually were some good cards. I'll be transparent with you. The best card in there was a card called Ancient Tomb, where you tap it for 2 mana and lose 2 life. That's like a $60 card, bro. I saw that. I was like, holy moly. Not selling any of the cards you gave me. Those are going in decks. I've already started putting them in there. And I built the elf deck that you sent me, so that's all ready to go. Lockhawk ready to load, ready, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I'll definitely be playing this. So, thank you. Go Sports, good evening. Yes, Sirski, good evening. Yes, Jeremy Sohan was sick, but he is back. Christian, good evening to you. Good evening to everybody. Spurs suck. Let's get that. You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I'm not going to say anybody's wrong for believing what they believe. That being said, I don't know how any Spurs fan at this point in the year can watch our team and watch these guys put out 110% every night, deal with a lot of adversity between injuries and a player being waived from the team, and still finding ways to win, and look at our guys and root for them to lose. I understand wanting the high draft pick, but if you're watching your team play night in and night out, how can you sit there and go, man, I really hope my team sucks tonight? That's not in me, but, to each his own. If my Spurs still pull this one, I'll be there you go. Well, that's good to see, Kills. It's your boy Rico. I'm not banning him. Gabriel, good evening. Go Spurs, go to you. Christian HDJD to you as well. So who's starting at point? Somebody dropped the Raptors lineup in there earlier. I got to change my Trent Jr. Yep. Barnes. Barnes. Oh, Scotty Barnes. Yep. OG. Yep. Got him in starting. Let's Siakam. Coloco's the one I didn't have in the starting lineup. Huh. Well. I gotta pull his number up because I don't know his number. And if he's starting, well, I better have him on there. Christian Coloco, number 35, getting the start tonight. So are the Raptors going a little bigger than normal? Is that the deal? I don't follow them a lot, but it seems like they're going a little bigger, which, size definitely gets you rebounds. And my team's a team that's struggled with size in the past. Twacro, Rent. All good. What's up, Jeremiah? Thank you for stopping in. How about it? Okay. You know what? I haven't done that yet. Go Spurs, go! And if you haven't hit the thumbs up, it does help the channel. Fast, free, fun, nutritious, and delicious. And if you ain't down with that, I got 2 words for you. Chuck Norris! Or suck it! Boop, boop. Anyway. I think Keldon could be a superstar at some point. I really do. I mean, I've been on the Keldon Johnson train, or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it bandwagon, but I've been a supporter of his since I started the channel in 2019. You guys have never heard me say anything bad about him. I've definitely critiqued him in my recaps of the week, but otherwise, I felt like this kid could be something special for the Spurs, and he's showing us that this year. Hopefully, his injury is not anything that keeps him out for an extended period of time because I got two of his jerseys. He's the only player I have two jerseys of. Dang, go figure. Huh. You know, when I started this channel, I literally owned one Spurs jersey, David Robinson. That's it. Since then, I bought a Tim Duncan jersey, a Keldon Johnson jersey. You guys have sent me another Keldon Johnson jersey and a Manu Ginobili jersey. So now I'm up to five. And somebody wrote me that they're sending another jersey. I haven't seen anything around my mail coming to my PO box soon, but I might have another Spurs jersey coming, which I can now officially say I have a Spurs jersey collection. Which that's a lot of thanks to you guys too. So would you rather mediocre season or get the Vic guy? Sweet Jones Jr., I just want our guys to play and grow. And whatever I'm not rooting for any type of season. I'm not sitting here going, "Ooh, let's make the playoffs and get knocked out in the first round." I'm not rooting for us to tank. Whatever happens, happens. And if our guys develop team chemistry, great chemistry over there, we see players like Keldon Johnson, Demo, and others continue to grow and put something together. And if they make the play-in or a late playoff seed and are exceeding expectations, and I can't sit here and root against them. Now, if they do their best and it's not enough and we do get a top pick, then so be it. I mean, I'm the type of fan that's always going to root for my team. And maybe that's because I'm a Giants fan and they've sucked for forever. So I'm just used to rooting for, you know, bad play. Whereas the Spurs have been a fantastic team most of my life, except for, and for a lot of you, the last 3 years, or if you were a fan back then, 96, 97. If you're older than I am, then obviously you can reference parts of the 80s and going back further. Manu's in my closet, along with my other Kelvin jersey. He Veronica, he's right here. That's where the Manu jersey is. Murray City edition. Oh, good evening, Joseph. I feel for anybody that bought a DeJounte Murray jersey. Some people said they bought Joshua Primo jerseys this year, and just to buy a jersey where the player's no longer on the team, no matter what the reason, it hasn't happened to me yet. The jerseys, except for Keldon, everybody else is locked, just locked into their team or retired and played for their respective team their whole career. Eli Manning, one football jersey I have, only a New York Giant. Duncan, only a San Antonio Spur. Robinson, only a San Antonio Spur. Ginobili, only a San Antonio Spur. Hopefully, we don't see Keldon going somewhere else in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and then then I'll be part of the crowd. I don't have a George Gervin jersey. I never saw him play, and I know he's a Spurs legend and he did so much for this team. But it's hard for me to go back and buy jerseys of players I know. I mean, I only have a Lawrence Taylor jersey. I just mentioned I'm a New York Giants fan. Taylor is arguably the greatest defensive player in the history of the NFL, easily the greatest New York Giant of all time. But I just, I saw the tail end of his career his last few years, and of course, he's been out of football for almost 30 years now. So buying a jersey now just seems, eh. So I generally don't go back and buy historical players' jerseys, just like I wouldn't buy a Mickey Mantle jersey for the Yankees or Babe Ruth. Granted, some of the greatest baseball players of all time and massive contributors to the franchise, but I never saw them play. We got a super chat in here. And he says, for $5, you're not a fan of the team if they are winning and you are praying for them to lose. You're a meme and need to put down the devices. Go to therapy. Wow. The Drew Show throwing it out there. I openly will criticize anybody that's rooting for the team to tank. That's not my nature. That being said, I don't understand it, especially at this point with a team playing so well with a rotation, a mismatch of starting lineups over the season, and our guys are playing their butts off. I understand the want for Victor, but tanking does not guarantee you're going to get the number one overall pick. And if you get the number one overall pick, it does not guarantee that player is going to have a career like Tim Duncan or David Robinson. These are not the norms. We have a player come out of college and immediately make an impact to your franchise. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think we're a little spoiled as San Antonio Spurs fans, not to knock us as fans, but we've had so many great draft picks. We've had 3 franchise players in my lifetime. David Robinson, pass the torch to Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, pass the torch. Sorry, Kawhi Leonard. Then that didn't work out, and now we're looking for our next franchise player. Is he on the roster? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. There's no reason a player can't slowly develop. Look at Giannis Antetokounmpo. He wasn't Giannis his first couple years in the league, but he became a beast in like what, year 4, I think, maybe 3 to 4. So sometimes players just need a little time to develop. And I just seen Kellen's game grow every year. Maybe he could be that guy. Maybe Devin. Maybe he can be one of the guys we drafted this year. I don't know, but I'm going to root for all of them to play well. Fan stands for fanatic. Just saying. Super chat, Frank. Don't know hype it. Yeah, you guys been. I can't thank you guys enough. I've been thinking about buying another microphone. You guys have been super chatting since I came back doing lives, and I was like, you know what? I feel like the audio quality could be improved a little bit. I don't know which microphone, or a lot, which mic to get, and I guess I would sit it right here. Unfortunately, you might have a mic blocking part of my face, which I don't like seeing mics too much on stream. I guess I could put it to the side too. But I think the blue mics are recommended, and Hype or something I saw were the two that were really good for streaming. They're anywhere from like $16 to $90 on Amazon, so I should really take a look at getting a new mic. Jakob Pertl, Jeremy Sohan, Keda, Bates, Diop, Romeo Langford, Trey Jones for the Spurs. This is in San Antonio. Christian Koloko, Gary Trent Jr., OG, and OG, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam for the Toronto Raptors. Players are on the court, and away we go. Leonard was Indiana's pick, but Kyle, we got him before he ever played a game in the NBA. So, I mean, it wasn't our pick, but we made it our pick, if that makes sense. Spurs will start off with the ball. And I'm very curious to see what Romeo Langford does with these opportunities. And the Spurs turn the ball over as soon as I say that. Fast break and OG with the two-handed dunk. Spurs starting the game off quick with a turnover. I use a toner wired, and I really like it. Snow bars are great as well. Okay. Frank, it's on here. You see it a little bit. Not a lot, but there's people that occasionally comment that they don't want the team to win. I guess there's some content creators that are rooting for the tank. KBD into the paint, misses the shot. Jakob Pertl with the rebound, and he's going to get bezouled. Oh, nope. Never mind. Trey Jones with the runner after the pass, and I got to turn the sound off. The audio's not in sync with the video. Another fast break for the Raptors, and a big dunk by Scotty Barnes. Spurs not getting back in transition, and their offense looks a little... But maybe a content creator here and there wants the Spurs to tank. I don't know of anybody that openly rooting for that, but you guys have said there are some. KBD for 3, and the offense is looking a little rough to start, to say the least. Not looking great. Still early in the game, obviously. Raptors ball. Minute gone by. That pull-up J is off the rim, and Jakob Pertl is going to swat it out of bounds, which means it'll stay with Toronto. Keldon Johnson is out. Devin Vassell is out. Isaiah Roby is out. Blake Wesley is out. And if you've been living under a rock, Joshua Primo is no longer with the team. So we are running out of guards. 3 guards are out since, that's a 3-pointer for Barnes. When you think about it, Primo gone out or off the team, Blake Wesley injured, Devin Vassell out. That's 3 guards. We actually need guards, and now an offensive foul on KBD. Oh boy. Melissa, then we might be seeing this might be a very quick timeout. But yes, 2 of our top guys are out, Sagan and 06. So I don't have a great feeling about this game. To be transparent, when you're missing your top 2 scorers and 2 guys that you think may lead your franchise over the next decade, that's a lot to overcome as the ball is launched into the sands. The Joe Show with another $5 super chat. He's actually dropping the stats for percentages to get the number 1 pick. Let's see what he's got here. Bottom, number 1, 14%. Number 2, 14%. If you're the 3rd worst team, 14%. 4th worst team, 12.5%. 5th worst, 10%, so forth and so on. Spurs fans just saying, don't understand that top 6 losers essentially all have a 10% chance at number 1. That's actually pretty true. 10% chance. And Spurs fans need another turnover for the Spurs. Raptors on the fast break. And we're going to have a foul down the other end. Oh, boy. But Drew, thank you for the super chat. And Drew, just for you, appreciate you. Go Spurs, go! What we also have to remember is a lot of fans will point to Tim Duncan turning the franchise around. We were not the worst team the year we drafted Tim Duncan. We lucked out and got him as I believe the 3rd worst team in the NBA. We could have easily missed that draft pick, and then who knows what happens from there. Obviously, history is completely rewritten. Maybe we don't have a dynasty. Maybe we don't even have any rings probably not without Tim Duncan. Let's be transparent. Do we still get Ginobili and Parker if we never draft Duncan? It's 9-0 after the two free throws. And pop timeout. This is a bad start for sure. Um, Victor is injury prone. I believe he missed half the games last year, Mike, in whichever league he was playing in. So that concerns me. And there's an absolute huge history of really, like any guy really, seems like 7-2 and up is that kind of that benchmark for players that tall having injury histories and not lasting on the league. And we can name off like a list of guys. And that does concern me if the Spurs were to finish as one of the worst teams in the NBA and to get the number one overall pick. What if you take Victor Wembanyama and he can't stay healthy? Obviously, I'm not rooting for that for whoever takes him, but he does have an injury history, something we have to consider. And then if that doesn't work out and he does have an injury history, your franchise could be set back years while your young talent, somebody like a Kelvin Johnson, Devin Stells, slowly getting older and older and older, and their prime is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Yes, Chet Holmgren. Mars, good evening. Mike, Chet Holmgren, tall, lanky, thin, out for the year. He's already missing his first season. I would agree with that. And you can't expect any player to come in and be those players. Those are very unique situations. There's a very short list of number one overall picks that immediately turn a franchise around. And that's what happened. Dave Robinson came in the franchise. I think the team won somewhere in the low 20s. And the next year they won something like 56 and 58. And then when Tim Duncan came in, the Spurs were terrible the year before. So, I mean, you don't get players, especially big men like this, that just immediate impact day one, become immediate all stars, rookies of the years, MVP type seasons. We've been very lucky as Spurs fans with these two guys that are behind me. Two of the greatest Spurs of all time. Obviously, Gervin's in there too. Ginobili, Parker, not too far behind. But if I'm doing top three Spurs all time, for me, it's a lot. Robinson's my favorite player. I gotta I call it like I see it. Tim Duncan, then David Robinson, and then I'll put Gervin third. And some people might disagree. They need to put Gervin. The older fans put Gervin over Robinson. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. Spurs ball, looking for their first bucket. Jeremy Sohan into the paint. Dishes it off the Pirtle. Pirtle with a little kind of jump hook. No good. Jeremy Sohan with a huge thunder dunk of justice put back. Jeremy got some ups. Our best lob threat for like ever. And speaking of lobs, lob down the other end, and Christian Coloco, the receiver of said lob, puts it down. So as soon as I start hyping the lob, Trey Jones into the paint, very short on his runner. Jakob Poeltl with the offensive rebound. Jones has struggled with his shot lately. Hopefully he finds it. So hand back to Jakob Poeltl and almost a turnover. Ball's going to go out of bounds. I think that's off Toronto, and it is. First ball with 6 on the shot clock. LeBron James, the last player to really turn a franchise around. Tony, yes, they are all out. Was LeBron number one overall? I honestly don't remember. I don't follow his career. I'm not a hater. I'm not a fan. I'm whatever. Well, I'm enjoying watching the Lakers suck. Ball's going to go out of bounds again. Still the Spurs ball. 2.7 seconds on the shot clock. He was number one. I don't remember that. He was number one out of high school? Of course, he was a freak athlete. I mean, be that size coming out of high school. And KBD turns the ball over on the inbound pass. Toronto on the run again. This is a rough looking game. Scotty Barnes with the jumper, and the Spurs not playing well defensively, playing even worse offensively. They are missing 2 starters, arguably. I don't think I'd have to argue too hard. Our 2 best players on the team. KBD into the paint, throws it up, no good. Offensive putback, follow-up is no good, and now a foul on Toronto. 4 turnovers for the Spurs in the first 3.5 minutes. Phil, yeah. I mean, yeah. This is rough. This is a rough start, but it's early. Maybe some guys off the bench can start giving us something. I don't believe Josh Richardson's out tonight. Maybe Jay Rich can give us something off the bench. Dougie's been great off the bench. So maybe the bench players can pick up some of the slack that the starters are giving us right now. Both free throws good. Well, it's going to be a long game, but it's going to be 2 hours and about 20 minutes. Pascal Siakam 1-on-1 with Pirtle into the paint. Pass it out. The offense will quickly reset as Gary Trent Jr. headband man with the ball. He is now 1-on-1 with Pirtle. Step back jumper. No good. Nice shot, but didn't go in. But nice job setting up his shot. I wish I had one of those moves, but I don't. Be transparent. Almost a turnover by Trey Jones. He'll get over to Romeo Langford. Langford with a runner. Hey, the Spurs have cut the lead to 7. Beantown breakdown. Yeah, put me in, coach. Put me in. Put in a 6'4", 45-year-old man and see how we do. That three-pointer is no good, and the rebound's going to go to Trey Jones. Spurs on the run. Jones sprinting up the court. I think Gary Trent Jr. took a 3. I don't know. Langford at 3, no good. Okay, Bobby, Beantown. Romeo Langford is looking pretty decent lately. He's got to stay healthy. Spurs defense looking terrible, and Scotty Barnes gets an easy dunk. That's the 3rd or 4th dunk for the Raptors. Hey, y'all, thank you for stopping in. Proto with his little runner, and it's good. All right, so the Spurs offense starting to pick up a little bit. Their defense leaving a lot to be desired right now. That three-point attempt, in and out burger. It is Spurs ball by the Raptors. That was Pascal Siakam with the three-point attempt. I get a little confused because we have 2 players wearing headbands on the Raptors, and if depending on the angle, I might not be able to tell which is which. Sohan into the paint, misses the layup. Nice move, but couldn't convert. Raptors on the run again. And another dunk on the fast break. Another dunk for Scotty Barnes. Dunky Barnes. What is going on here? Right, Veronica? Okay, Jeremy. All right, Phil. Thanks. Sounds good. I do check my email on there every day. Langford, pull-up jumper, no good. He's going to get fouled. Scotty Barnes. How many points does Scotty Barnes have? Like 8? Doug McDermott will be checking in for the Spurs. Sohan to the bench. Pascal Siakam is in there. He's playing well. He's in there. Nice, Bobby. What happened to the old lady? Oh, never mind. Maybe I should move back to Massachusetts because the lady action down here in Connecticut, the scene is dead. Oh, my goodness. I know because I have a buddy that's lived here his whole life, and he's always complaining about it. Spurs ball, 4 on the shot clock. Doug McDermott takes the shot, gets blocked, and the Raptors are on the run again. And a runner in the paint is good for Gary Trent Jr. They might put up 40 before this first quarter is over. We have no defense. Jakob Poeltl is checked out. Zach Collins is checked in. Three-point attempt by Langford is good. Ooh, people missing number 2, huh? Look, in his prime, top 5 player in the NBA. Some of you guys said top 3. He was a fantastic two-way player. Say what you will about him being a knucklehead. Fantastic two-way player. That's a missed 3 for the Raptors. Spurs bring the ball back up the other way. Dougie McBucket's running around. Pulls up his dribble, gets it to Zach Collins. Collins going to drive into the paint. Throws up a little jump hook. Baby hook. And the Spurs have cut the lead to 6. Sir Cardinal? Sir from the 6! My man, how is it going? I haven't seen you streaming forever. I think you said, what's going on? Are you back to work now? Like, do you work all nights? Because I know you love streaming, but obviously life comes first. Doug McDermott to the paint with the reverse layup. And the Spurs have cut the lead down to 4. I'm watching the game on the NBA League Pass. The League Pass was $100 this year, which anybody that has the pass in the chat can back me up. League Pass is normally $230 a year. Siakam drives into the paint, misses the duck, and it is Spurs ball. They can cut this lead to 2, so despite the terrible start, McDermott for 3. Good! They have cut the lead to 1. Fight, Spurs, fight! Man, myth, legend, Sir Cardinal. Now, he'll always be Sir Cardinal. I know his screen name is Sir from the 6. Always going to be Sir Cardinal for me. I got to fix my clock. I almost had a Freudian slip on that. We'll fix it as we go into a timeout. The Spurs are down by 1. Do I miss Kawhi? Good night, Sir Cardinal. Take care, man. I miss his ability. I don't miss load management. I don't like the way he left the team. I wouldn't want him back on the Spurs. Some folks say, would you want him to come back to San Antonio? He's a walking injury right now. Dude, he missed all last year. He can't stay healthy, and he's a tool. Drew Show with another $5 super chat. Whoop-ah! Says, people dragging Agent KJ. Defense from the jump better recognize his two-way game. Him gone. Our new defense is doo-doo. You know who you are. I'm not. I have no idea. But appreciate the super chat, Drew Show. And I know you're rooting for the team. You obviously want what's best for the team. I say, even though we might always agree, I got to think we all want what's best for the Spurs. We just might disagree on how we get there. Dono hype in the house, Bobby. For reals. July 26th, we are out two starters, Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson, which really hurts in my man Keldon. Number 3. Plus, we are out Blake Wesley, one of our draft picks, who was really looking good as of late. Isaiah Roby's out. He's had limited playing time. That's not a huge loss per se. And then obviously the releasing of JP last week has really affected our depth chart, especially at the guard spot. So I got to think this game, this is going to be a good, with Blake Wesley being out and while Devin Vassell's out, this is a good time for an audition for players like Malachi Branham and Romeo Langford to say, hey, look at me go, especially Romeo Langford. Romeo Langford really needs to prove to the NBA, not just the Spurs organization, but the NBA in general, that he can stay healthy and that he can put in quality minutes. He looked good in the last game. Keldon's going to be a superstar. He's handsome. Oh, you and Dougie. Hey, it's my cat's birthday. I can get shit. Happy birthday, boo-boos. Nice. How old's your cat? The only pet I have, I mean, I don't know if this counts, but this is my pet. This is what I got. I thought about just streaming like this because this is much better looking than my ugly face. But people might find it very awkward that a giant Grogu is on the screen. And he's making Selena Gomez look tiny. 13. Nice. 13! 13! 13! Stabs! If you get the reference, great. If you don't, I don't want the Raptors to win, Iqbal, but if you're a Raptors fan, I certainly respect you wanting your team to win. That's good. But I'm rooting for the Spurs. And if we can win tonight with two starters out, we got a reach around foul from Doug McDermott. The Drew Show with another super job. My goodness. Sperms Talk, the owner of the Forum of Old Heads, is a part-time scout and full-time grader. Never gives out season GPAs, so he is a... Wait, wait a minute. I think I know that. I've been to a Spurs Talk. They do grades after every game, don't they? I've checked out that site. Siakam for 3, good. Not a fan, I take it? From Toronto. Well, there you go. It kills. Go Spurs, go to you. Work is great, Ernie. The new position has kept me a little busier. I'm training somebody, and that really, being a mentor to somebody it takes up a lot of time. But there's a lot more responsibility. I'm learning a lot about my job. And Doug for a long 3. Smoke them if you got them, by the way. But work's good. I'm back to working out twice a day, easing my way into it. I'm medically healthy finally for the first, I'm really feeling better as I had a rough summer. 3-pointer for the Raptors. Gary Trent Jr. Just as the Spurs cut the lead down to 1, the Raptors had back-to-back threes. Josh Richardson's in the game. Nice to see him back on the court for San Antonio, and he's going to almost turn the ball over. Gets it to KBD. KBD with the awkward-looking layup. It's good. 25-20, under 4 minutes to go. I don't think they're... Don Allen, good evening. Don Allen, I believe you were the one that sent me the Manu Ginobili jersey. Is that correct? And another foul on the Spurs. Digging Romeo Langford's hair. Totally random. But I like it. Andrew, also Raptors fans, thank you for being here tonight. Everybody's welcome. If you're new to the channel, I'm a huge San Antonio Spurs fan. Cover a lot of Spurs content. Do a lot of Spurs content. Obviously cover the games as well. So if you're a Spurs fan, make sure to hit the old subscribe button somewhere over this way. Yes! I was about 99% sure, Don. I was you, Don. But I've gotten quite a bit of stuff this year, which I'm very thankful for. And it's starting to get a little fuzzy. But I'm pretty sure you sent me the Mono jersey. Fell sent me the Keldon Johnson jersey. Chris sent me the bobbleheads. So I think I've got it all in my head. That's a runner by Siakam. No good. Spurs on the run. They got a 2-on-1. Doug McDermott's going to take it into nowhere and kick it out to Jay Rich for 3. In and out burger. Go Spurs, go is right. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by Zach Collins. It'll stay with San Antonio. I do like it. I wore it out to BJ's the other day. BJ's Warehouse. I'm like, I'm going to rock my Manu Ginobili out while I'm going shopping. Why not? I don't care. People think I'm in Connecticut, so they're probably like, Spurs. What? Whatever. That's right, Spurs. 12 on the shot clock for the Raptors. Siakam bounce pass over to Precious Achiuwa. And his shot is no good. Spurs on the run. Rich pushing the pace, gets into the paint, and he will get fouled. Looks like he was going for a dunk, but he got hit. Foul. Sugar J, they are keeping up. If the Spurs can stay competitive in this game without their two best players, if they lose and still stay competitive, props to them. Called KBD Elastic Man. He is very lengthy. Blake Wesley is ridiculously lengthy too. Have you seen Blake Wesley? Just ridiculously long limbs. Raptors outscoring the Spurs 12-3 on fast break points, which is obviously a big difference in the game. Playing tournament, Ernie, if they keep playing like this, yes. Who would win, LeBron or Michael Jordan? One-on-one, LeBron James. Michael Jordan is like over 60 right now. So at this age, definitely not Jordan. Prime Jordan versus Prime LeBron? Wow, one-on-one? Jay Rich at the line for 2. That's tough because LeBron is going to have the size, and he's going to be able to push Jordan around. Jordan's a better shooter. Jordan has probably one of the best mid-range two-point jump shots I've ever seen in my life. It depends. What rules are they playing with? Are they playing with 80s rules or 2010s rules? Because then they have two very different games as well. I'm going to do a video on them at some point because I do want to start doing more NBA videos. I know I'm going to do the scouting report on Scoot Henderson because I want to check him out. I just don't know if I should do it. It's probably too early to do scouting reports. I probably should wait till next year, till after the All-Star break to get back into that. But I do plan on doing one. 3-point attempt for the Raptors is, man, they're shooting the three pretty well tonight as Delano Banton gets the three. Under 3 minutes to go, Jay Rich drives into the paint. His runner is too much on it. Rebound's going to go to Jakob Poeltl, who's already checked back in for the Spurs. Gets it over to Doug McDermott. McDermott back to Jay Rich. Jay Rich back to Jakob Poeltl. Over to Josh Richardson. Pick and roll with Jakob Poeltl. 6 on the shot clock. Over to Doug McDermott. Into the paint to Jakob Poeltl. Poeltl in the paint. Poeltl throws it across court. And Malachi Branham with the ball. Branham, pull-up jumper. Good! That was a tough shot. Traffic. Malachi Branham, one of our draft picks. I can't remember if we drafted him 22nd or 26th. I know Wesley and him were drafted in the 20s. I don't remember who was drafted first. Was it Branham drafted 22 and then Wesley was drafted 25 or 26? Offensive foul on the Raptors. Spurs ball. Gooseby. Primo to the, he's not, nobody picked him off of waivers. That was a beautiful fade by Branham. Gooseby, why you got a headache? Need more cowbell? Branham was first? Okay. I thought he was. I just don't remember the exact order. Primo, he's done in the NBA right now. Spurs turnover by Jakob Poeltl. Collins gets the ball back. Spurs going big with their current version of Twin Towers. Branham for 3, way off on that one. 28-24. About 2 minutes to go. All things considered, the Spurs were getting looking terrible at the start of this game, but they're staying in it, and they're out a couple guys. Key guys. They're 2 best guys. That pull-up, Siakam has such a nice jumper. Jump shot's good. I don't think the Nets are going to. I don't have a headache, do you? Hope not. Dug into the paint, pull-up jumper, good. Ernie, I honestly have no idea when Devin Vassell's coming back. I'm shocked he's been out this long. That pull-up 3 is no good by Precious Achiuwa. And Precious Achiuwa. It is Spurs ball. Jay Rich with the ball wide open for 3. Forces a terrible pass into the paint. The Raptors lose the ball out of bounds, but really tried to force that into the paint to Zach Collins when he had an open 3. I didn't like that. Well, I'm not a fan of launching 3-pointers left and right. If you're wide open, I'd rather you take the wide open 3, especially if you're a good 3-point shooter, than try to force a pass into traffic. So bad decision making there on Jay Rich, but nobody's perfect. Spurs ball, 1 minute left in the first Q. And the ball's going to immediately get swatted right back out of bounds on the inbound pass, still Spurs ball. Jordan Poole or Draymond Green? Show us Primo. Wow. Spurs ball. They'll get it. They'll launch it. Launch it into Jakob Pertl, 30-26. Jay Rich with the ball now. Drives to the paint. Gives it to Zach Collins. Collins is going to get no foul. Loses the ball. Gets it back. Puts it in. Spurs are only down by 2. Despite, our guys are out there fighting. Missing their 2 best players and some other key players. And they're still out there trying to win. I love what I'm seeing from the Spurs. Even if they lose this game, if we keep it close against a good Raptors team, I'll be content. Not happy we lost. Not happy, but at least content. Siakam, another pull-up jumper. Man, that dude can shoot. Yeah, he is. Playmaker Yuta. Yes, he is. Pulls. Lomer Langford started. No Keldon Johnson, Gooseby. Keldon was a little dinged up in our last game. We're having a lot of guys fouling the Raptors. For such a young team, we're dealing with a lot of injuries in this early season. Whoops. I just realized I'm just going with Selena every night. Is that okay? You guys remember I used to change it up every night? But it saves me time. I just, having her here. Or I could bring back, goofy, scary Tim Duncan face. Jay Rich wide open for 3, launches to 3. There we go. 1-point game again. Raptors can hold for the final shot. Spurs are in the bonus, not like it matters. Siakam way out in 3-point land, calling for a pick, calling for the roll, just going to launch a 3. Nope. I think the Spurs had a foul to give, so they gave it. It's 32-31, by the way. Yes, it is. I vote for a mono picture. I do have a mono picture. Yeah, no scores in the chat, please. I'm streaming it on my Roku, which means I might be behind, and I certainly don't want any spoilers. And so, just try to follow my scoreboard. Unless you see I'm way off, but usually I'm accurate about 99% of the time. Son of a biscuit, and the NBA team pass just went timed out and that's the end of the quarter. And I don't know this. NBA League Pass has been garbage, absolute garbage this year, where it just randomly just puts you right back on it. Okay, it is 32-31. I didn't miss anything at the end of the first quarter. But a lot of us have complained. It's just been an absolute train wreck of just a disaster. It had some issues last year. It's been a nightmare this year, which is maybe why it's only $100, and they're not putting any effort, as far as I can tell, into fixing it. It's the only way I can watch the Spurs, though, legally. So, it's what it is. You can show your Primo to end, but yeah, he did grow up in a very different era, Drew Show. That's a good point. Very different era. Our best players will be back next year for us to get. No. They're only down by 1. You lean over near her every once in a while. It looks like you're. Do I, Melissa? It's not intentional. It's really not. Linden, I don't think we're tanking. They're 5-2. People are questioning the injuries on the team and think that maybe that's a secret tank, but I don't think there's a tank. Tony retired in 18? 19? So he's not eligible yet. He might get in there first year. 6-time All-Star, NBA Finals MVP. I think he'll probably be first ballot when he's available. Mr. McBuckets. Thank you, Aksazan. Appreciate that. The Nets and Lakers aren't tanking. They have terrible team chemistry. Urban Wild, thank you for stopping in from the Philippines. The Lakers, this super team might be the worst super team I've ever seen. When you look at LeBron James, 4-time NBA champion, multiple MVPs. Anthony Davis, I don't know if he has an MVP, but an NBA champion. Russell Westbrook, former MVP with a boatload of triple doubles. The only player to do that, I think, more than once in a season. And they just can't win games. They're terrible together. They have no roster around them, but that's when you get when you have 3 players making like What do they all make? I think they're all making over 40 million, aren't they? How are you going to build a team like that? You can't. Jeremy Sohan with the block. And an offensive foul before the block with Sohan showing his defensive prowess. Bruce Bowen's in the chat. Is he? Or are you just yelling Bruce Bowen? Eggball from Toronto. I'm assuming you go for the Raptors. Good evening. Joe, Go Spurs go to you. Steve Kerr is probably a better coach player. When is the NBA going to fix Tim Duncan's... Jakob Poeltl in the paint, and the Spurs have their first lead in ever in this game. Oh, Bruce Bowen's doing the announcing. I can't hear him. I can't hear anything. I have the sound off because I was complaining about the NBA Pass. The NBA Pass audio and video is completely out of sync. The audio is like 5 to 10 seconds ahead. So I'll hear a whistle and the players will keep playing, and I don't know what the heck's going on. So yeah. Chris Boucher with a three-pointer. The Raptors take the lead right back. My clock is not moving. And then Doug McBuckets gets into the paint. Can't convert the layup. Nice move, but couldn't finish. Penetration with no finish is not what you're looking for. Anyway, Raptors ball, 10 in the shot clock. Precious Achiuwa with the... What's up with the Raptors and all their headbands? Poeltl with kind of a block. The ball gets tipped around between multiple players, and it finally goes in for Toronto. They're rocking a lot of headbands. Trey Jones bounce past Jakob Poeltl. Poeltl in the paint and gets all sorts of paint gets clogged up. They get the ball back out to Trey Jones, and Jones for three. Who the hell is out there for the Spurs? Who's number 50? Is there a number 55 out there? Who dat? I can't see who that is. Latino Lantern, what's up? First deserves a go. $2 super chat, thank you very much. And go Spurs, go to you. And oh, I took Selena off the screen. She's back. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on who that is. Trey Jones with the ball right now. 3-point lane gets it over to Doug McDermott. Jordan Hall, thank you. Speaking of which, Jordan Hall with the ball right now, whips it over to Jeremy Sohan. He's going to launch a three. Too much on it. Jordan, oh gosh, you're so harsh. Jordan Hall, I haven't seen him play. And a turnover, and the Spurs have an easy fast break. Trey Jones all alone takes him to the paint, throws up the thunder dunk of layup. It was a layup. Thank you, Jordan Hall. This is the first time in 20 years I can't name. You can't name 5 players, Omar? Come on. You guys know I can. I can name, obviously, probably the entire roster. Except for Jordan Hall, apparently. It is Raptors ball. That three-pointer is no good by Chris Boucher. It is Spurs ball. Trey Jones will bring it up for San Antonio. Trey bounce past Jakob Poeltl. Back to Trey Jones. Jones whips it over to Doug McDermott. McDermott starts to drive. Wheels it around to Jeremy Sohan. Sohan off into the paint. And picks up his dribble. He'll get it back up to Trey Jones. Jones now drives into the paint. Back into Jakob Poeltl. And a turnover. That was a lot of passing for a turnover. Boucher drives in the paint. He'll get the layup off the glass. Raptors retake the lead. It's been back and forth, and we're going to have a timeout. Let me get my clock in sync with my TV. I mean, you don't think you do at least 5 Spurs? Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jakob Poeltl from last season. Our draft picks, Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Brandon, Blake Wesley. Nothing. I mean, that was 6 right there. Latino Lantern, paying you better than me best. Thanks for the $2 super chat, Latino Lantern. The NBA Pass has been so frustrating this season because I want to do a good job as a YouTube content creator. And when I'm watching the game and then it goes right to a blank screen, what the hell am I supposed to do? What am I going to do? I might actually be ahead of the game now, but you get the gist of it. Put Barlow in the game. Don Barlow, I don't know if we'll see him. Wait, Doug twisted his ankle? What? I didn't see that. I can't use the Bally Sports app, Don. I live in Connecticut. It checks where I am. I didn't see Dougie get injured. What the heck? You kidding me? We have another guy that's hurt? What's with our court and our own guys getting hurt left and right? I mean, this team is playing such good team basketball, but my goodness, if you keep having guys go down with injuries, you're not going to win anything. As I'm watching the French fry shootout, I don't know what I'm watching. Another injured Spur, huh? That is a definitely a recurring theme this year. One that I don't like. I don't know, Latino Lantern. I just know I can't get it. Not even China wants nice, Agza. Where are we at for thumbs up? We're at 70. Okay, that's awesome. Maybe we can get close to 100 before the halftime. The halftime. I live close to San Antonio, so games are blacked out. But I'm not getting the NBA pass because it sucks. But believe me, Melissa, I don't like it. But that's all I got. That being said, I think I've told you guys I will be at two Spurs games this year. So look for LTSR. I think I'm going to try to get seats behind the Spurs bench, maybe between the 6th and 11th row, and I'll be there. And you'll definitely see me if you're watching on your TV. And I will try to get some video footage from my see if I can get any insight here, pop, whatever. I would like to sit right behind the bench, but those tickets are like $600. So, I'm probably go with the more $300 seats in row 6 or 7. But I'm excited. I'm very excited. I hope the Spurs win by 5, Brandon. I'll go to Igbal. It happens. Spurs ball down by 1. Sohan wide open for 3, and I did not like his form on that. It looked like he paused and then took the shot. And whenever you disrupt your shooting rhythm, and it's not a natural motion per se, that shot's probably not going in. Raptors ball. 8 minutes to go in the first half. And the turnaround J is no good, and we're going to have a foul and 2 free throws coming up for Otto Porter Jr. Got to make a poster. Well, uh, I'll be there. I mean, you guys know what I look like, so you can easily track me down. I'm 6'4", so I'm going to stand out. I'll have a Spurs cap. I need to get a new Spurs hat for going to San Antonio. I'll probably rock my 1995 Spurs coat with a pink collar. So I'm very much going to stand out in the crowd. Ironically, NBA International League Pass must use different servers or something via PIN. Never had a problem. Really? I heard it's much cheaper. One of my subscribers in India said the league pass is like $15 a year. I was like, $15? Son of Scar, good evening. I like to see him take it to the paint too, a little more. Sit behind Sean Elliott and talk his ear off. We had another timeout. All right, Jonathan. I hope you're right. I don't want to bug Sean Elliott. Although there's a seat empty right behind him, um, like directly behind him. I can't, Don Allen. I didn't know about that until it was a little too late. I already had the time planned. So no Alamo Dome. I'm going the second and fourth. I'm gonna see the Pelicans and Suns. I wanted to go on a weekend where I could see 2 games, and the weather would be really nice. In Texas, it looks like it's about 60 degrees, low 60s high, and then maybe low 40s in December, and that weather's perfect. As opposed to what it'll be. It might be warmer because it's like 70s all week here in Connecticut in November, which is unheard of. But that'll be a lot of fun. I want to go because December 2nd is David Robinson bobblehead night. And even though I can't get the bobblehead that night, I'll just get some slip. And I don't know if they'll mail it to me, probably not. But I'm sure one of you guys would, if I asked, hey, if I give you the money for postage or whatever, could you mail me the bobblehead? I don't. I'm sure somebody will hook me up. But I figured, that's his night. That's my favorite player, my favorite athlete of all time. I want to be there for that night. And I'm looking forward to it. It'll be my first time to Texas. I don't know what else I'm going to do that weekend. I'll be there for 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I ship out early Monday morning. One more 3.5 days. Well, yeah, 4 days because I'll get there noonish on that Thursday. So yeah, pretty much 4 days. I'll have a rental car. I will do the sights to see in San Antonio. I want to see the Alamo. Got to see the Alamo. Obviously, the 2 Spurs games. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. In Sean's ear. Me and my friend are betting for the Spurs game. I'm a huge Spurs fan, and she's a Clippers fan. Who do you think will win? If Kawhi Leonard's out, it depends who's playing. We're missing a lot of players, so if we keep having guys go out, I don't think I can answer that until game time because it's going to depend who's out for both teams. We'll well, I'll get a nosebleed ticket for that game, and we can have a shot. I'll send it to you. Arjun, good evening. Rich shopping by to ask the question. Do you think the Spurs are still tanking? No, I don't think we ever were. Riverwalk downtown, $51 per season in the Philippines. Not bad. Beads hasn't been on a broadcast or talked about being on one all year. Oh, good evening, Zach. Man, that game was brutal to watch on Sunday. I don't know if we already addressed it this week. We just Daniel Jones has nobody to throw to. It's just that, and that the offensive line is beat up too. The Alamo does not have a basement. Pee Wee was lied to. Yeah, he was. Pee Wee's, yeah, Pee Wee's Big Adventure is classic. Yeah, the Alamo. There's no basement in the Alamo. Is that song real, by the way? The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in. Is that like a real song from the Pee Wee movie? Do you guys actually sing that? Or is that just them being goofy? Spurs ball. Malachi Brandon into the paint. Throws up the reverse layup and gets rejected for his efforts. No, no, no. And it is Raptors ball. They get the ball up the court real quick. A miss. And then a massive putback dunk by OG. The Raptors have feasted at the rim. Because you are the Giants and you have Daniel Jones. Thanks, man. It's a miss for the Spurs down the other end. And a steal by Jeremy Sohan. Nice effort by Germany to get the ball back. Trey Jones running on the paint. No good. Man, his shot has been a little inconsistent this last week. And now a foul on Trey Jones. It's a real song. Okay. Thank you, Fabian. Let's not say any. Let's knock any other Spurs channels. I don't. We all have opinion. I'm sure there are people on this channel that say I suck, but I'd rather not see that type of talk on the channel. It just if you want to say you like my channel, that's awesome. I appreciate it, but not to the detriment of another channel. Man, I hope so, Drew Show. Glaze and Bacon, good evening. I'm surprised we're competing. I mean, I'm not surprised, but this is going to be a very difficult game without Kelvin Johnson and Devin Vassell. Those are our two top scorers, and they're not in the game. So who's going to step up for the Spurs tonight? I don't know. Down by 5 right now with 7 minutes to go. That pull-up jumper is a swisher. Toronto shooting very well tonight. Very well. 45-38. 7 minutes to go. Tyro John, like I said early in the stream, if the Spurs lose this, but they compete in the whole game and stay close without key guys, Brandon for 3, no good, then I'll still be a content Spurs fan. Zach Collins fighting for the rebound, and the Raptors will come away with it. They're looking to run again. OG up the court into the paint, and he will just dump it off. It's still Raptors ball, and a nice move, and Spurs finally get the ball. Sorry, a lot was going on there. Christian Okoye, Koloko misses the shot, but Spurs on a fast break get the layup. Oops, wrong team. And it's 45-40. Raptors down the other way with a fast break, and they get the layup. Oh my gosh, the pace of this game is getting ridiculous. I can't keep up with it. I believe that was OG on the fast break layup down the other way. Now a whistle. And, Zach Collins getting into it. Little tempers are flaring. Tempers be a flaring. 47-40. Sohan breakout game. Not yet. Era, good evening from the Philippines. Okay, Demetrius, fair enough. I'm not sure what caused the... Boys just being boys. I don't think there's any technicals on either player. Maybe, maybe not. No. Josh Richardson got teed up. Never you mind. Jay Rich got teed up. He wasn't involved in it, but he's got a team. He's got teed up. It's a tank night. Robert, was it a double tee? Because I don't see any free throws. This must have been a double technical. I don't know who the technical was on the Raptors as the Spurs almost turned the ball over. And we'll get a timeout by Jay Rich as he dives for the loose ball. The Spurs have been very sloppy with the ball tonight. I will say that. It's not called tanking, it's called load management. Well, we are in a rebuild, Zach. It's not a wonder if we're, or unless you mean wonder if we might win, actually. We're definitely in a rebuild. When they traded DeJounte Murray, that pretty much sealed the deal that they were committing to the rebuild, but I think the players are playing much better than they would have expected. The Spurs organization that is popping the front office, they're certainly outperforming expectations, but the injuries are killing us. Raptors ball, pull up jumper off the glass, good for Scotty Barnes, and it's back to a 9-point game for Toronto. Boucher had the other double T. Thank you. They never put it on my TV screen, or I missed it when I was looking at the chat. KBD shot in the hoop around in the paint, no good. And it is Raptors ball, Spurs looking a little left in the last few minutes. That pull up jumper is no good by Barnes. It is Spurs ball. Jordan Hall bringing it up for San Antonio. Gets it over to KBD. KBD back to Jay Rich. Jay Rich into the post to Zach Collins. Collins back to Jay Rich. Jay Rich going to get it back to KBD. KBD with a little jumper in the paint. And it's 49-42. KBD actually having a decent game. Good to see you, Christopher. I'm glad too. I'm your only source. And Christopher, I actually mentioned you're the one that sent me all the bobbleheads, correct? And a lot of Spurs swags. I appreciate that. Siakam drives in the paint, gets the layup. My bobbleheads are on my shelf over there. I got DeJounte, Tim, and Kelvin all hanging out. Well, Kelvin's riding a horse, but thank you, Christopher. I'm pretty sure that was you that sent them. 99.9% sure. Spurs ball, Jay Rich, long three. Good! All right, let's get the momentum back, Spurs fans. We're playing sloppy and missing players, and we're only down by 6. You know, I'll take it. And an offensive foul, it looks like on Toronto. It's a turnover. Either way, it's Spurs ball. DJ has 23 in the second quarter against the Knicks. What? Dang. Latino Lantern, do we have a defensive lineup? If so, who is it? Thank you for the $2 super chat. I don't think we have a defensive lineup per se. Our starting lineup actually has the potential to be very strong defensively when they're all there. Trey Jones has been showing he can play some solid defense. Diakaba obviously is very good defensively. Devin's a very good defender. Sohan's becoming a good defender. Kelvin, yeah, he's a little inconsistent. Has the potential, though, I think, to still be a better defender. Zach Collins is wide open for 3. He'll take the 3 and no good. Boop. Thank you, guys. You guys have really, the Dono hype has been real tonight, so appreciate that. That's a 3 for the Raptors. That's a 3 for the Raptors. Every time we get close, Chris Boucher for 3. Another headband for the Raptors. They just love the band of heading. Spurs 5 of 15 from beyond the arc. The Raptors are 6 of 12. My friends, that is 50%. Jay Rich gets blocked down the other end. We have a foul. The Drew Show drops a $5 super chat and he says, can we finally say it? DeJounte must have been a huge D-head in the locker room. Nothing else explains this resurgence. Maybe Brown cured Pop's team. I think what happened, Drew Show, is if you remember with DeMar DeRozan and DeJounte Murray here, the Spurs were running a lot of ISO plays, a lot of ISO ball. They're not doing that anymore. I just think the DeRozan and Murray, really good players, but maybe not what we needed. So that is a miss by Zach Collins. Oh, it's a turn by the Raptors. He gets the ball back. OG in the paint and goes for a huge dunk. Misses the dunk. We're going to have a foul on Zach Collins. 15 hours a day. Good grief. $20 a month for Bally Sports app? That's more than the pass. Oh, it wasn't? Not you. Oh, shoot. Who was it? I thought it was Christian Martinez. Dang it. I can't remember. It was definitely Chris. I guess there was a foul on the Raptors. It's Spurs ball. They're down by 9, though. Jay Rich pull-up jumper, no good. We keep getting closer. We get it down to like 1 to 5, 3 points, 5 points, but then the Raptors keep, to their credit, fighting back and getting that lead back up. Siakam in the post, turnaround off the glass, beautiful move, and this is now the biggest lead of the game as the Raptors are up by 11. Commander deck, Elvin Empire, Junior. It was Elvin Empire. I didn't own it. I still actually have it near me. So I built it. Yes, I use penny sleeves. I'm running it as a budget deck. My expensive decks have my expensive sleeves. Not all my decks have expensive sleeves because I have 78 decks and a turnover by the Spurs. Man, we have a lot of turnovers tonight. Fast break, layup, good for Gary Trent Jr. Our defense is offensive foul, Doug McDermott. Our defense leaves a lot to be desired. Murray, I don't know if he'll get booed right away. Collins soft? I don't know if I would say that. And Kellen Johnson's out tonight. Can we see Seabass instead of Collins? Zach had been playing pretty well lately. I don't know. That was probably not a good call by Zach on that offensive foul. 58-40. We're down by 13. What the what? I do play in Spell Table. Joyling Chung, good evening to you. I play in Spell Table with friends occasionally on Saturdays. Would I ever stream it? It's obviously not on this channel, and to try to start a Magic the Gathering channel now with so many huge channels like the Command Zone, the Professor Talarian Academy, Alpha Investments, the Commander's Quarter, so forth and so on. It's yeah, and our video quality is a little sketchy sometimes, and I'm not going to ever take the time to put the card up on the screen. And that's a turnover for the Raptors. I think there was an offensive foul. Spurs ball. Oh, all right, Chris, cool. Enough, enough bricks tonight to rebuild our team. Dwight Howard? Is he still in the NBA? Jay Rich can't get that pass. It's going to go out of bounds. Spurs with another turnover. How many turnovers do we have? We got to have at least 10. It's got to be 10 right now. Jeez Louise. Ugh. Barnes with the ball. Open for three. Going to take this three and in and out. Burger the three. No TSR gaming revival, Kyle. Zach Collins into the paint and gets a little jumper. You know what? I've thought about expanding and doing different things on different channels. I have a Rumble channel, but I've barely been uploading on there lately. And I was like, you know what? I really want to focus now on this channel, and I'm locked in on my music channel, which, is struggling to no end. It only has 350 subscribers, but I'm enjoying it. Gary Trent Jr., by the way, just scored that bucket with a pull-up jumper. Zach Collins, baseline three. He's wide open, and it is no good. Pirtle can't get the offensive board. Spurs going with their version of the Twin Towers. Not quite the same as Duncan Robinson. OG takes it coast to coast, misses the layup. But I've been doing a lot more music stuff, and you never know. Another turnover for the Spurs. OG with the steals. Raptors on a fast break, and another dunk down the other end of the floor by Chris Boucher. Wow, this offense is so bad without Kellen Johnson. Trey Jones drives in the paint, gets the layup off the glass. The team chemistry is just not there. I thought about coming back to Twitter, Drew, now that, things have changed maybe. Raptors ball, runner, good. Spurs down by 15. Boy. Jones with the ball on three-point line. Pick and roll with Zach Collins. We'll get over to McDermott. McDermott. Nice dribble. Gets into the paint. Runner, good. And a foul. Just going to go our way. The other offensive foul. Offensive foul. Andrew, I saw that comment, but I didn't see the other one. Sorry. It is getting... No, Kyle, I already saw that. This is getting ugly quick. Yeah, that's an offensive foul. Dang it. Oh, no, Andrew, I've not watched... I just looked at your comment. I have not watched 1 second of the World Series. My team's not in it. Honestly, don't care. I don't know who's winning. Won't know who wins until you guys probably tell me on my channel. Once the Yankees got eliminated, I checked out of baseball completely. I get to hear TSR live game calling, but I also get to see the Gomez Machino games. I barely tweet and get a 60,000. Wow. 66. Wow, that's all right. Maybe I should get back on Twitter, but not as TSR Sports. Maybe I should put TSR Music on Twitter. Make just a whole new Twitter account. Yeah, I love this channel, and I found a really good, way of doing content now where I would try to like maybe rush a video during work if something happened. And now I'm just like, you know what? I work till 3:30, go get a workout in, And then it seems like actually the views are up if I upload a video around 6 o'clock. So just get my workout in, maybe play a couple games on my Xbox, chill for a bit, shoot a video if I have one to go between 5 and 6, upload the video. Then I got the rest of the night, except for the nights I'm streaming the Spurs. Jason Wong with a super chat. Are Raptors good or Spurs bad? Jason, the Raptors look good tonight. The Spurs are missing two starters. The Spurs have been playing very well this year, but being down Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell, two starters that are the core of our team, is really hurting them. I can see it. The offense is just so much different. The Spurs challenged that offensive foul, by the way, and they did not win it. And I agree that was an offensive foul. Tommy QC is wearing number 2 in Austin. Oh, geez. I guess they don't want to curse anyone's in with the number 2. They had a Go Spurs. I'm going to put a Go Spurs up, but man, Go Spurs go! I am calling, by the way, this week. I am calling Friday night's game against the Clippers. I don't know if Kawhi Leonard's playing yet or not. I think somebody in the chat said probably not. And then I will be off Saturday night, the Nuggets game. I'll be hanging out with friends, and that's one thing that's going to be different than the last couple years is, if I got plans with friends, don't cancel plans. Hang out with them, and then I'll have my recap on Sunday. And if the Spurs go 2-2 this week, I still think that's a good week because they played some darn good teams. They beat the Timberwolves. The Raptors are a good team. The Clippers and Nuggets are obviously good teams, so it's a tough week. All right, start the clock. Alley-oop, no good for the Raptors. A little too much alley, not enough oop. Spurs down the other end. They can try to 2 for 1 real quick, and they will. Richardson for 3. Ooh, way too much on that. No good. 64-49, 25 seconds to go in the first Q, and Scotty Barnes will be way out in three-point land, and the Raptors are obviously going to milk the clock here. I love the Giants. I don't know if I'd say they're the best team in the NFC East, but we might have the best coaching staff, Zach. We just need the personnel in some spots. And nice defense by the Spurs. Zach Collins calls the turnover. We can actually hold for the last shot. McDermott's going to take a 3. In and out. Ball's going to go out of bounds. There's not 0.9 on the clock. The co-winner is hurt again. Fat Boy, the $2 super chat. They are tanking. It's sad. Such a wonderful game. Kawhi's not traveling to Texas, so that's all right. We're down 15. This is probably the worst game the Spurs have had since the Hornets game. They are looking a little rough tonight. Looking rough. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, this is not a good game. I'm gonna pull up the halftime stats and see what's going on and who's playing well and who's not, at least statistically. Won't even be in the building. What a douche. Oh, was that out loud? Not playing team ball. Leonard, Keldon Johnson's out, Devin Vassell's out. Those are the big ones. Isaiah Roby's out. He really hasn't been playing much. Not a big loss there. Blake Wesley's out because of his torn MCL. Primo's not on the team. Not one of our better first halves of basketball. No. Since he left the Raptors, Phil, he has done nothing. What is this widget thing? YouTube is not receiving a video to maintain smooth streaming. What are you talking about? I got 500 internet, and it tells me I'm sending you a whole bunch of stuff. All right, let me get to the halftime stats. See who's doing well for the Raptors and who's doing well for my Spurs. By the way, I checked on Derek White, old former San Antonio Spurs. Seems like he found his three-point shot that had been missing in San Antonio. I believe he's shooting like 43% from beyond the arc this year with the Celtics, so good on him getting his shot back. Toronto Raptors, OG with 6, Pascal Siakam with 11, Christian Coloco with 2, Gary Trent Jr. with 15 to lead all Raptors scores, Scotty Barnes with 13, Kim Birch, I didn't realize he was in the game. He had 5 minutes, had 0. Chris Boucher with 12 points off the bench for the Raptors and 8 rebounds. Chris Boucher, 12 points, 8 boards off the bench. Damn. Precious Ichua with the donut. Delano Banton with 3 and Otto Porter Jr. with 2 for the San Antonio Spurs. KBD with 8, Jeremy Sohan 2, Jakob Pertl with 4. Jakob has 3 turnovers. Trey Jones also has 3 turnovers. We have 12 turnovers in the first half and 15 assists. That's not a really good ratio. That's not Spurs basketball right there. Anyway, Romeo Langford with 5. Trey Jones has a nice stat line. He's got 7 points, 6 assists, and 7, 5, and 6. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. So he has a legit shot at a triple double. Off the bench, Dougie with 7, Zach Collins with 6, Josh Richardson with 8, Malachi Branham with 2, and Jordan Hall making his debut as a San Antonio Spur with nothing. Dominic Barlow, Charles Bassey, and Gorgie Zhang, all DNPs for the time being. Fat Boy with the $2 super chat. Zach is doing great, so underrated. TSR, let's get a go Spurs. Zach has been good for us as a backup center. By the way, go Spurs, go! And if you ain't down with that, you know what we got for you. Yeah, I mean, he's been inconsistent. Just tonight might not be our night. It is what it is. Being down 2 guys is really hurting this team. But there's still a lot of time left. Who knows? They might surprise us, have a huge third quarter, and they're right back in it. Is there any younger player around the league that you could see that we could possibly trade that could blossom with us? Anybody we could trade for that's really young? The problem is, if there's a young prospect that looks like he has a lot of potential, our team's really going to be willing to trade him? And what are we trading for him? Draft picks? I don't know. I like Zach. I don't think he'll ever be our starter at center, but he's been a solid backup. The defense has been not a game we'll look back at as a strong defensive game for our San Antonio Spurs. Definitely not. Offensively, they've been okay. The turnovers have been a massive issue. Somebody's obviously going to need to step up in the second half. Looking at the starting lineup, to expect that of Jeremy Sohan as a rookie, probably not. KBD, he has his big game every once in a while. Probably not going to be the guy. Jakob obviously could step it up a bit in the second half. He's one of our best players and could use, definitely use more scoring from him. Trey and Romeo definitely could use more offense out of them. Your 2 primary scorers are out. That's a lot to make up for. Kellen's averaging 23. Devin's averaging around 19. That's 42 points out of the starting lineup. Jordan Hall back on the roster. Do you think has the game been slow? 9-12? It seems regular speed. It hasn't been a foul fest like some of the recent Spurs games. Hello from Taiwan to you. Mile High 6 says go Raps. Mile High, I've known you for forever on YouTube. Why don't you have a wrench on my channel? You do now. Use it, don't abuse it. And we have 100 thumbs up. Thank you, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you. Thank you. I was reading to my daughter for a half hour and my throat was sore. I don't know how you do it for the whole NBA game. Yes. There's this 23-year-old on the Dallas Mavericks who looks all right. Hank, who are you talking about? Alex, it can be rough, which is why I'm probably going to try to avoid back-to-back games. I talk, for the most part, all day on my job and then do this. I'm also a singer here and there, or a growler, if you will. Dang, I just realized the Raptors almost 69 us in the first half. That was close. It takes a lot out of you. It does. I don't have a co-host to take half of the broadcast off of me. Yeah. Come on now. I thought you maybe were referencing Luka Doncic, but I'm like, no, he's not going anywhere. Can you imagine if he did leave the Mavericks? What a disaster. And I saw Doncic, I think, was leading the NBA in scoring. There's 10 players that are averaging over 30 points per game right now, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, as the season progresses, those numbers should drop. But if they maintain... Ugh. No, Ernie, I don't live by myself. Come on, man. There's my roommate right there. Best roommate ever. Today that said Jakob can get... Yeah, I saw that too, Rose City. I almost did a video on it, but I was like, I didn't really have much to add to it. And that's the difference between this year and last year is I was just pumping out videos left and right just to put up videos for the sake of putting out videos, like daily videos. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do that. One, because, I got things to do outside of YouTube. But one, if I'm going to put up a video, I want it to be, not just because I'm doing a video. And that's what I was doing last season and really the year before that. And that takes time out of your life. And, you might not be fully into the video you're doing if you're just doing a video just for the heck of it. Latino Lantern with a $5 super chat. Oh my goodness, you guys been nuts tonight. The only way we can tank if we trade Pirtle, KJ should be an all-star if he continues to play like this. Unfortunately, not popular enough. If the Spurs, there is still the outside shot they could trade Jakob Pirtle before the All-Star break. I do think Josh Richardson and Doug McDermott, there's a really good chance they might be on the trading block. But if the Spurs are a top 5 team before the All-Star break, they might keep their vets. Although some of these contracts are expiring. Josh Richardson, I think this is the last year. Dougie's got one more year. And Jakob's contract obviously expires. They might just try to move him and get something for him. I'm sure a lot of teams could use Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson and Doug McDermott. They each bring something different to in the organization. Who do I want to win? Coming Canada. It should be obvious. I'm guessing you're trolling based on what's around me. It should be pretty obvious who I want to win. Yes, he does, Latino Lantern. If the Spurs have a winning season, will Pop be coach of the year? He should be talked about. If the Spurs were to finish much better than it, like let's say they lose tonight and they're 5-3 after 8 games, but they end up finishing, let's say 47-35, or any wins above like 43, or anything that puts them over 500. I would think he should be talked about as contention for coach of the year. This team was expected to finish by some analysts dead last, and some analysis said this San Antonio Spurs team has the worst roster in the NBA. So if they finish above 500, make the playoffs, yeah, Pop should definitely talk about coach of the year. Well, hello, Workforce Planner. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you all being here tonight. By the way, I am the current, but going. All right, Kyle. Gotcha. They're showing halftime highlights. A rough first half for the San Antonio Spurs. They did get the lead down to 1 at some point. I want to say the late in the first quarter or very early in the second, but it's been rough sailing since then. This is a Kellen Johnson jersey. As you can see, number 3. Little big on me, a little big, but that's okay. I've already said if I find a Miss TSR Sports, she can wear this around the house. She's like, hey, I need to throw something on. And this, because it's down below my weight. It's like a couple inches below my waist. So on a female, and females are average height, 5'4", 5'5", 5'6". So it's going to be pretty big on her, but might look sexy. Canada, a lot of people feel that way. I do not. That's right. We did have a lead for. You're right. We did, Linda. We had a lead for a hot second, a hot minute, and then that lead was gone. We were winning by 1 at one point. I forgot about that. My apologies. We were up, but we were not up very long at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Putrefy on Pascal Siakam, which destroys target artifact or creature. So he can't play anymore if I destroy him, right? No? That's not how that works? Okay. Yeah, that just happened. Chris Paul has been Jacques Landale's having a really good year in Phoenix. I think this is Pop's last year, Ernie. I really do. What do you expect tomorrow to happen? What's happening tomorrow? Is there like a hearing, or I haven't been following him at all anymore. Please don't take this the wrong way. I really don't care. He's off the team. I wish him well, but I'm not going to cover him anymore on this channel. There's nothing else to say. I just would rather not. He's not on the Spurs, and I want to focus on the San Antonio Spurs, not former Spurs, especially former Spurs that are in some kind of legal trouble right now. So I have no idea what's going on with him. My most expensive Magic card? I don't have anything really expensive. Like I don't even think like from Alpha or Beta, like the old sets, nothing like that. I want to say probably like $100. I tend to not like. I mean, I play the cards I own, so if they're, I wouldn't want like a $1,000 dual land in my deck, original or whatever they're going for these days. Probably maybe like a full art Sword of Fire and Ice. I think that's like $100. Full art, some of the full art double master stuff. Uh, I really don't know off the top of my head. 'Cause I play the game. I obviously collect the game, but for me, it's about playing the game first, and the value of the cards is so much far down the list second. That being said, if I want to get a card and it's really expensive, then I I won't pay more than like a couple dollars for a card now. If I get an expensive card, I do enjoy cracking packs. I'll buy the odd if Amazon has a huge sale on collector's boxes for like 120 or less, which is ridiculous, or a booster box for like 75 or less. I really have fun cracking packs, and then if I get an expensive card in there, great, but I'll throw it in the deck. I generally have had really good luck with opening packs. Have you ever been to Gamers Paradise? No, I never heard of it, but I'm in Connecticut, so if that's in Texas, then definitely not. I tried to get to Magic, just got confused. It is a complex game, but it's a lot of fun once you learn it. Latino Lantern, another super chat, another $5. My man been going nuts tonight. Two reasons why we won't draft number one, even if we tank. Number one, 16 to 25% chance to get the number one, and two pop. I think it's actually, oh no, I think it's 14% to get the number one overall pick if you're the worst team in the NBA. DeJounte is terrible. How many points does he have? Go to Card. I never heard of Card Spirit Latino Lantern. It is in San Antonio. I'll be in San Antonio in December. I suppose I can check it out. What can the Spurs get for Jakob? See, he's obviously a starting quality center. The problem is he's on an expiring contract. Maybe a late first round pick, like 20 or after. I don't know if we could get something higher. It's going to be a team that's in playoff contention that's going to trade for Jakob Poeltl if any team's going to trade for him. So I got to think it's going to be a team that can use a center that's, you know, top 10, 12 in the NBA. Uh, Pascal Siakam, another jumper. Nice, Gabriel. I do have like five Cyclonic Bursts myself. I have a full art one, but I don't think it's foil. That's probably around that price, roughly. Do we have a foul? We do have a foul in the Raptors. This game's getting hard to watch. This game's getting really hard to watch. Down by 17. You think Jakob will get us a pretty big haul? What do you got? If the Spurs were to trade Jakob Poeltl, Spurs, wow, it's getting empty in the stands. Hope people aren't leaving. That's turnover, fast break, dunk. Hey, look, OG again. OG and Scotty Barnes been dunking left and right on us. Spurs immediately down the other end. Jump shot, no good. And it is Raptors ball, and they're up by 19. And another dunk after the miss, a huge dunk putback by Christian Coloco. Is that an and one? That's an and one. Oh. Demicel's out. Kellen Johnson's out. Well, Spurs fans, this is not going to be a memorable night. We are getting blown out at home. Wait, they took the bucket away? Oh, okay. Or the scoreboard's all screwed up on TV. Jeez. Down the other way, miss. Langford will kick it out to Trey Jones after the miss. And another offensive board for the Spurs. Zach Collins. The Spurs going big with Collins and Poeltl on the floor. KBD for three. Hey! All right. Oh, gosh, I got to change that halftime. That should be Q3. My bad. My apologies. Raptors ball. And almost a steal. No steal. Instead, we have a drive to the hoop and a nice finish by Scotty Barnes. Very difficult layup in the paint. I would have to agree with that, Hank. I don't think any Spurs fan. This is not a team you jump on the wagon for. There's no wagon. Have you looked at the last 3 years? Apparently not. But we have, people that come in and I don't know what they're yelling bandwagon about. They must obviously have some kind of mental issue and they think it's 2014. Wagon's tires are flat, right? I think it should still be a coin toss because I feel like a draft lottery is too easy to. Oh, wow, you're going back to Patrick Ewing. Yeah, that lottery was all sorts of sketchy, wasn't it? Didn't work out for him, though. I mean, Ewing became a great player and a multi-time All-Star. The Knicks never won a championship with him, though. They got to the final with Ewing once. Who did they lose to? Let's think about that. I think they only got to the finals once. That's an air ball three. Air ball. It's going to stay with the Raptors. Scotty Barnes surprised me tonight. Hank, that's not going to happen again. Oh, they did. They've lost to Houston. I don't even remember that. Man, those Rockets teams for Akeem those 2 years, nobody was stopping Akeem Olajuwon. He was just playing lights out basketball for the Rockets. The dream shake was ridiculous, right? Doesn't Devin look like he's ready to peace out? I didn't want to say anything, but they're showing Devin still on the bench. He's just sitting there like, yeah, I just want to go home. What's up, dog? They were an 8 seed. Were they an 8 seed? And now we're gonna have a foul in the paint immediately after the inbound pass. Zach Collins goes down hard. They said Devin was getting his what? Isn't he like 20? Maybe he doesn't need it. 2 free throws for the Raptors. I'm going to say one thing I'm going to do different this year, Spurs fans, than I've done in the past. If we're getting annihilated in the fourth quarter, I'm ending the stream. If there's like 6 minutes left and we're down by 30, I'm not going to sit here and be miserable for 15 minutes. I'm going to be like, I'm going to go do something else and enjoy the rest of my night. I just staying around when your team's getting blown out is not fun. And I'm hoping we can make this respectable before the game's over. Langford out to KBD. KBD is going to drive all sorts of crazy traffic. Looks like he lost the ball, got it back. Jakob Poeltl with a little push jumper. That's an air ball right before the shot clock was expired. No expiration on the clock. It is Raptors ball. Oh, boy. Well, three-pointer for Gary Trent Jr. We are now down 25. I hear cars are ridiculously expensive these days. Zach Collins, quick three. Romeo Langford gets the rebound. He pulls up, and that's in and out. This is fast break for the Raptors. They lose the ball out of bounds. It's off a spur. It's going to stay with the Raptors. This is rough. Shane, I was a little nervous about the game, as some of you were as well, when I put up that Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell might be out, or that they were out tonight, and the team is just not the same without them. That pull-up three is no good. It's Spurs ball. Trent Jr. for three, no good. Trey Jones will bring it up for San Antonio. Pick and roll with Jakob Poeltl. Trey Jones into the paint. The runner is no good. Jakob Poeltl gets the board, the putback, and that's two for San Antonio. Good evening, Jared. What do you think about the time Tony Parker won? I mean, I don't care who wins the finals MVP, to be honest with you, as long as we win the finals. They both played well, obviously. And Jakob Poeltl with the block. Raptors get the ball back. 8.5 minutes to go, and Christian Koloko falls down. I think we're going to have a foul on the Spurs. We need a huge run. What just happened to the Jared? We're out 2 starters. And I don't want to use that as an excuse, but we're out our top 2 scorers. And it's clearly affecting the team. Oh my gosh, Gorgie Zhang is checking in. It's also been a horrible game to watch, Phil. And I'm sorry if I'm not pumped up and my usual rah rah rah, but watching your team down by 23, it's hard to keep the energy up. Pascal Siakam kicks it out for three, and that three is good by OG. Oh boy. I think he did Emmys. I mean, I'm not upset that he got it, that's for sure. Markkinen, probably not. I don't know if he would have made a huge difference on the team. That gonna be a turnover, San Antonio? Nope. Yep. All right. Looks like I need to cast another spell. What can I cast on the Raptors here from my Magic deck? I need another. This is what we need. Budget game finisher. We need to overcome. Spurs need to overcome right now. Overcome the Raptors. That is. Hey, there's a miss by the Raptors. Spurs on the run. Pirtle out to KBD. Open baseline three is a complete brick. If he was shooting for poop, he wouldn't get a whiff. Siakam with the layup down the other end, and is that an and one? Or is that an offensive foul? Nope, that's an and one. Oh my goodness. Is he putting up MVP numbers? I haven't been. Venture, we're getting destroyed. Kyle, I mean, we're out two players tonight, two starters. I don't want to say the honeymoon's over. I want to wait and see what happens Friday night if Keldon and Devin are back. At least Keldon back. If both guys are out again, good, oh mama. Yeah, without Keldon, I mean, Keldon's our best three-point shooter. That's a 29-point lead, and we still have a lot of third quarter to go. Adventure, it was 28. KBD open for three from the baseline again. Hey! Back down to 26. What sucks is when the games are like this, they're not fun to watch, but man, the views just. It also hurts the channel because nobody wants to come and talk about the Spurs when they're down almost 30. And the Raptors are just hitting everything now. Gary Trent Jr. pull-up jumper is good. Devin just looked like he didn't want to be there, in my opinion. Phil, he just didn't want to be there. We're going to have a foul on the Raptors down the other end of the floor. I can't blame him. I mean, when you're watching your teammates get crushed and you're not playing, we have a timeout. I think he just wants to get the heck out of Dodge. I can't blame him. I'm trying to pull that up. Come on. There we go. A little internet browser issue. There we go. All right. Timeout. Spurs down a million. As Selena is looking good. Don Barlow could come in at some point tonight. Rookies. Well, Blake Wesley's out for 8 weeks. Malachi Branham has had limited playing time, and Sohan's had limited playing time. They both had one nice play, but overall a quiet night. Dang, looks like he's 50. Definitely limited minutes for our young guys. Drew showed another super chat. Drops the $5. He says, "This was a game to illustrate to those who thought KJ and Devin weren't starters just how important these weren't stars, just how important these non-stars are to teams." Sperms Talk Twitter. Robert, I agree with that. Yeah, for anybody, they're the two most important pieces of this team, in my humble opinion. Those are the two guys we're going to be building around. Not to take anything away from the other players, but the growth we've seen from year to year for Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell, I think we have a really solid punch at the 2 and 3. Who's going to be at the 1, 4, 5? Jeremy Sohan should be our starting power forward for the next decade or more. Is Jakob the guy, or is he going to leave? Don't know. Trey Jones, is he the guy? That's probably my biggest question mark moving forward with the Spurs franchise. Is I think 2, 3, and 4. That should be our foundation. But who's going to be at the 1 and the 5? Is Blake Wesley going to be our point guard of the future in a year or two? And then who's our 5? Of course, you guys will say, well, if we lose Rich, Victor Wembanyama's our 5. I have no idea how long Devin is out. He's been out a lot longer than I thought he would have been. That's the 50 in the floor is Tang's age. Got a 50 back there, too. Spurs ball. KBD drives in the paint, gets the layup, and KBD trying to take the game over, channel his his former self versus the Lakers. Spurs down by, oh, we're still down by 26. Crap. I thought we cut the lead. We didn't cut anything. Raptors ball. Pull up three. No good. OG out on the baseline. Couldn't make the three. 6.5 minutes to go. Spurs ball. Trey Jones will get it up to Josh Richardson. Richardson over to KBD. Out three-point land. We'll get into Doug McDermott, who's checked in the game. Back to go. Dougie throws it away. Fast break. OG. Dunk. Way, way too many fast break points for the Raptors tonight. Jakob is like a top 5 to 10. Victor Wembanyama on the Raptors team? Not going to happen. And Gorgie Zhang almost turns the ball over. He does turn the ball over. Another fast break for the Raptors. Spurs get back in transition. Siakam with the miss. Oh my goodness. Josh Richardson for three. Dud. Raptors going fast break again. And the layup down the other end is no good. The putback is no good. And the ball's tipped out of bounds by KBD. This is rough. This is rough. Lonnie, the third best player in the Lakers? Probably. Pop just looks like this. Put De'Aaron Fox with KJ and DV with who? Good evening, Butterfly. Well, Butterfly, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Probably the Spurs' worst game of the year so far. That's a miss and another rebound, offensive rebound for the Raptors. Pull up three by Siakam's no good. KBD will finally get the defensive rebound. They are, Jared. They are. I would say Kellen's our best player. I would agree with that. Zhang going to launch a three. Gorgie Zhang cuts the lead to 25. I don't know where Jeremy Sohan is, Phil. He was on limited minutes. I don't see him on the bench. Maybe he's got the poops. He did have flu-like symptoms, so maybe he's not feeling well. Siakam in the paint with the little jumper, good at the rim. Hear me roar! Oh, I should time you out. Get out of here. Check this out. Yeah, look at that. Blam! Spurs are killing the Raptors. No, they're not. Imagine if somebody came in and they saw the Spurs up 142 to 89. Fortunately, life does not work like that. But yeah, you guys are killing us tonight. Turnaround jumper, good by OG, and one. And this is just a nightmare for the Spurs tonight. I'm going to cry. So you guys can just, I don't want you to see my tears. So I'm just going to put Groggy in front. I'm sad, Spurs fan. Back to the 30 mark. 17th turnover already. Raptors are 10 of 10 from the line. Spurs are 4 of 4. And almost another turnover for San Antonio. Jay Rich gets it back out to Gorgie Zhang. Zhang going to drive into the paint. And it's another turnover for the Spurs. Offensive foul. Or traveling. I don't know. It is only one game, Jared, but man, it hurts. It hurts watching your team get just 17 turnovers for the Spurs. And we still have a whole 4 minutes left in this quarter. And then the entire fourth quarter, they're going to get 20. Siakam drives to the paint. This Spurs team looks dead to rights out there. NBC Sport mock draft, number 2020, number 3, San Antonio Spurs. Amen Thompson. Is that one of the brothers? Aren't there two brothers? Is it the Thompson brothers? Or is it a different last name? I feel like there's two brothers that are supposed to go in the top 10 in next year's draft. Doug McDermott runner in the paint. Gosh, the Raptors are going to have 100 before the third quarter's over. The Nets have been a bust. And a quick shot down the other end as I was looking at the chat. Has Kyrie Irving been a distraction for them? I know he's got political or ideology stuff going on outside of basketball, but has that been a distracting thing to the team or just bad basketball? Jane's going to launch it. In and out burger. Rebound Raptors. Spurs down by 32. Siakam for three. Wow, Brick City. It is the Thompson brothers. Okay. Thank you. Wow, there's names I can't say. The Thompson? Take a drink every time we turn the ball over. That's not a game I want to play. Brandon gets it to Zach Collins in the paint. Rear slap, no good. Foul. It's Canadian. I'm not Canadian. The betting now is between the Nets and Lakers. Which team is better? Yeah, they're both a little rough this year. Dr. J curse. I mean, the World Series is tonight. Zach Collins at the line for two. Shows you how much I've been following it. Wow. A great line last night. I dropped into Amir's channel real quick. The sports critic. He was calling the Orlando Magic game, and they were playing bad. And at one point, he's like, "Why do I call this team?" And I was like, "Sometimes I feel like that." But it's been mostly good this year for the Spurs. This has been. I'm not surprised they're losing because they're out players. I am surprised they're losing this bad considering how well they fought the Timberwolves on Sunday. Zach Collins hits another free throw, as I think maybe we had a early a lane violation, so he got a second shot. 96 to 66 though. Yeah, watch it with those ghost throws there. That 3-point attempt, no good. Gary Trent Jr. misses a three. It's Spurs ball. A little under 3 minutes to go. They are now 96 to 66. Both teams in the bonus. Freudian slip. Zhang launches into the Collins. Collins reverse layup is no good. It is Raptors ball. They're on the run. Siakam sprinting up the court. Bounce pass and a big dunk. Told Delano Banton, the recipient of said bounce pass in the paint. Spurs down 32. Turnovers and D. Terrible. Trey's complaining about his shoulder. And now another turnover. Fast break dunk. Two minutes to go. We're down 34. The turnovers and fast break dunks are. We got a timeout. And is Trey Jones hurt now? Timeout Spurs. This is yeah, they got to 100. Yeah, Kyle, I'll be live Friday, and hopefully we don't see a performance like this. This is bad. Blake Leslie's out for 8 weeks, aka 2 months. Sir Connor, are the Raptors this good this year? I know we're down guys, but I haven't been following Toronto at all. Are they really looking legit this year? By the way, you can never hate the Spurs as a Raptors fan. You're welcome with your championship with Kawhi Leonard. Granted, a little bit of luck with the Warriors getting hurt, but not going to take anything away from what they did. They won, and you just got to beat the team in front of you, whether the whole team's there or none of them are there. 4-3. Well, they're about to be 5-3. They're obviously winning this game, barring the craziest comeback in the history of the NBA. You're welcome, Lennon. I wish I was more enthusiastic in this quarter, but I mean we're getting destroyed. This is no Spurs fans wants to watch their team play like this. The senior men, Devin Vassell out, Keldon Johnson out, and Keldon being out has really changed the complexion of this team. For those people that I don't think there's too many out there that don't feel Keldon Johnson's important to this lineup, look how bad this team is without him in there. I don't think he'd be helping too much with the offensive on the defensive end per se, but man, the offense is just a mess tonight. Turnovers galore. It's just a disaster. Would you like James Wiseman and James Wiseman for Jakob? He is younger. Is he 100%? Why would the Warriors trade him? Are they done with him? Why would they want to trade a guy that's still only what 21, 22 for Jakob? I don't know. Does Jakob have the higher ceiling right now or the higher floor? I guess. San Antonio to Frozens. Man, I think when that trade happened, we talked about it a little in my last video about the Spurs rebuild. When they traded DeMar DeRozan, or when the Spurs traded Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors for DeMar DeRozan, I get why they didn't go immediately into a rebuild. They had Patty Mills here, Rudy Gay, LaMarcus Aldridge, but I think we tried to do that 1 year too many. The first year, I get a DeRozan. The second year, when they just made the play, well, they had the bubble where they looked good, but they probably should have just tore it down at that point and then built around DeJounte Murray. Instead, they tried to win one more year with DeRozan. Clearly, it didn't work. But I like what they've been doing now. I don't like this game at all. Like Leslie better than Branham? Not sure yet. Branham's at the line for two right now. I missed the first free throw. I think both players have a lot of potential. Which one blossoms in the end? Time will tell. We did, though, Sir from the Six. He's my favorite player. I'm wearing his jersey tonight. Um, we did get Kellen Johnson and Jakob Poeltl, who's also a starter. So while you guys did win a championship, which is awesome, you only had Kawhi for 1 year. So long term, if the Spurs win a championship with Kellen Johnson and Jakob Poeltl or just Kellen Johnson, obviously it'll look like the Spurs won in the long run because they got much more number of player wise. We don't have a championship though. That's you obviously have a trump there. You have the championship. That's the end goal to win a championship. But we got Jakob Poeltl, we got Keldon Johnson, we had DeRozan for 3 years, and then we did trade DeRozan for draft capital. So, you know, I guess it worked out in the end. But if we don't win a chip with Keldon Johnson, then obviously that's a terrible trade. That's another bucket for the Raptors. They're up 35. I'm half paying attention to what's happening when Toronto has the ball. My apologies. It's just they're scoring at will. We cannot stop anybody on their team at all, and keep turning the ball over. Malachi Branham, little crossover drill, back out to Gorgie Zhang. Zhang thinks about the three, pulls it down. Zhang into the paint, kicks it out back to Branham for three. No good. And Branham's not shooting particularly well in the NBA for a little bit that he's played this year. He's definitely struggling with his shot. He's a 19-year-old rookie to be expected. Although Blake Wesley, the little bit he played in the regular season, looked like he has a high ceiling. Siakam with a nice bounce pass, and then the pull-up jumper is no good by, I don't even know who that is on the Raptors. Where's Tank for Wiseman? I don't know about all that. Wasn't Steph Curry like injured the whole year for the most part? He played only like 5 games. That's another turnover. Fast break. Hey, look, a fast break dunk for the Raptors. What are the odds? Delano Banton with the fast break dunk. How many freaking fast break dunks do they have tonight? Zhang's going to launch a three. The Spurs break 70. That's right, baby. Free insults? How are they making you? They're making my job hard calling this game. Is Gorgie Zhang the oldest player on our roster? I think he is. That pull-up three is no good by Chris Boucher. And it's Spurs ball. DeJounte has 36 right now. Sohan only had 10 minutes? That's it? Wow. I would have preferred we kept Jacques Landale over Gorgie Zhang workhorse player. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Not a hindsight is 2020 because Jacques Landale's playing well in Phoenix, but why bring in a plus 30-year-old vet, which you already know what he's got, instead of the kid that you brought in, you know, that just had his rookie season. You barely saw him and you're already giving up on him. I didn't like that move. And of course, now Jacques Landale's playing pretty damn well in Phoenix off the bench. Well, folks, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay around for this. You guys are usually cool, though, if I end the stream early tonight. I know you guys won't give me any crap. You're really cool about that. I don't think I'm going to stay for the whole game. Probably stay live for another 10 or 15 minutes and then call it a night. Especially if this keeps getting worse and worse and worse. We are getting smashed right now. DJ has 6 steals plus 36 points. Good grief. Good night, Workforce Planner. My tickets were $200 rich to see the Spurs play. Oh, all right. I'm probably Butterfly. I'm looking to get behind the bench about 6 rows, and I think those are going to be about 300 or so. I'm going to splurge. This could be Pop's last year. This is my first time going to Texas. And if you guys are watching the game, which a lot of you will be, you'll be able to see TSR Sports in the crowd, which I think would be kind of cool. And you're going to see me probably going nuts. I'm probably going to look like an idiot out there because I see most of the Spurs fans, at least when I can see them, are just kind of sitting watching the game. Where I'm going to be, that guy, that's jumping up and down and screaming and being an idiot, while everybody's just like, "The hell's wrong with this jerk?" And I don't care. It's not confirmed it's Pop's last year. I think this might be Pop's last year. Good night, Latina Lantern. Appreciate all the super chats. To everybody that super chatted tonight, thank you so much. Gosh, I see a lot of folks calling in tonight. Is that a sign? Astros are up 5-0. Yeah, Sugar J, don't you go to a lot of games? I think I see you put that you go to a lot of games. So if you're going to 10, 20, or more Spurs games, I can understand not wanting to sit back there every night because that's a hell of a lot of money. I will, Butterfly. I'm really looking forward to it. And if any of you are at one of the games I go to and you see me, please don't be shy. Come up and say hi. I won't know who you are, obviously. But if you come up and say, "Hey, it's Sugar J Cherry. Hey, what's up? It's Butterfly," I'd be like, "Holy crap! You're one of my subscribers." That would be so awesome. Any of my lady subscribers, you want me to sign a boob or butt? I'll do that. Just kidding. Actually, I would not do that. Just for the record, if any female fan asked me to sign a body part, I would be like, "Nope, too weird." And I just put the game on, or the NBA Pass just acted all sorts of weird, and I just went 1 minute into the future where the Spurs are only down 32. I don't know what the heck happened there, but yeah. Charles Bassey sighting? Well, that's worth sticking around for. Oh, you signed my butt. Heck no. Gross. Definitely not signing anybody's butt, female or male. No butts. Charles Bassey's in the game. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Spurs. So I'm starting to see some Spurs I'm not familiar with. I've never seen Charles Bassey play. I can't, the senior man. A lot of folks say go to that game, Rich. I'm like, I'm going to be in Texas in December. It's not a cheap flight or hotel stay. My whole trip is probably going to cost about $2,000 plus total. So to do that again in January, no, I can't. Oh my gosh, that three was from a mile out. I don't even know who some of these Raptors are anymore. They're starting to go deep in their bench. We're down 35, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a Raptors fan, you got to be loving this. J. Rich, KBD, and Zach Collins, Malachi Brandon, and Jordan Hall now in the game. Oh no, Bassey's in the game. Sorry, I saw that too. Another turnover for the Spurs. Fast break for the Raptors, and another fast break. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. Tim said he can get me 2 good tickets for the fourth if you don't want to pay for a second ticket. If I don't want to pay for a second ticket? What do you mean? I only have to buy one ticket. Oh, you mean a second ticket to the game? So, I mean, I would sit with you, man. Um, just shoot me an email. Let me know what's up. I mean, then I would just have to buy tickets for it's Pelicans on the second, Suns on the fourth. Yeah, shoot me an email. You can sleep on my couch. No, I got a hotel Sugar J Cherry. I definitely plan on going to the Alamo. Definitely. Guy wearing number 5, Precious Achiuwa. He was a draft pick. Some people the Spurs wanted a few years back, but he was drafted. Was that the Primo draft? Was that last year's draft? Precious was drafted. Is this his second year, or was it the year before that when we took Devin Vassell? Maybe it was the Devin Vassell draft. It was the Devin Vassell draft. I think it was 2020. The Raptors took Precious. I think he's in his third year. I could be wrong. Brandon for 3. Hey! Oh. All right, Sugar J. Don Barlow's in the game. Is he? Yes, he is. Oh, boy. It's good to see some of the players out there for the Spurs that we don't normally see, but the circumstances are not ideal, being down 36 freaking points. Good God. Taller, longer, faster. Who dat, Joshua? Who, number 5? KBD's at the line for 2. The Spurs even going to break 100 tonight? KBD's first free throw, no good. I'm probably going to stream for another 5 to 10 minutes, and if we're still down, I mean, we're not coming back from this. Come on. I'm an optimistic fan, but I'm also not naive. We're not coming back from being down 35 points in the fourth quarter, barring a absolute massive miracle. Hannibal Lecter takes it to the paint, misses the layup at Spurs ball. I don't know who that is, but he's got the Hannibal Lecter mask on. Quick three down the other end by Brant. Malachi Branham all of a sudden just launching him and making him. Jesse Rodriguez, good evening. Are we sure we want to do this, Tank? We just need about 60 more of these games. I don't want more games like this. I absolutely do not. They're atrocious. So three down the other end for the Raptors. They're not fun to watch. Hurts the channel. Let's be honest. It's not good for my channel when my team's getting crushed. And it's just it's rough all around. At least we're seeing Malachi Branham starting to turn it up in the fourth quarter. It is Spurs ball. Bassey with the ball. Down to Barlow. Barlow over to KBD. KBD drives in the paint. Bit of a Euro step. Off balance shot. Tough shot. No good. And fast break layup and one in transition. As Precious Achua scores. Gosh, we're almost down by 40. Well, yeah, Sugar J, but I changed my mind. Yeah, Cowboys this. Who's Bo Cruz? Who? Bo Cruz? I've never heard of that person. I had no idea who that is. Bo Cruz. Thank you, sir. I mean, life changed literally right before the season started. Time freed up, and as I looked at my schedule and things, because I made the decision, like, I'm gonna take some time off from streaming. I kind of was thinking about coming back halfway through the season, and then as I looked, I'm like, I could probably commit to 2 to 3 games a week as something's lightened up. Why not? Plus, the Spurs games are earlier this year, and my commitment to myself though is, don't overdo it. You don't have to do a video a day if you feel like doing it. Fine. Doing the videos after work instead of trying to do them at work, which I was doing, was a big mistake last season. And I am, this team's a lot of fun to watch too. Whether they win or lose, nights like this are not fun, but the young guys are really fun. The problem is the team's just dealing with a ton of injuries right now. Juancho Hernan Gomez from Hustle. Okay. We need something mile high. James, honestly, don't take this the wrong way. Don't care about the World Series at all. I'm not a fan of either team. I used to like Mike Schmidt as a kid, so I guess I'll root for the Phillies, and I guess the Phillies. As a Yankees fan, I guess I can never root for the Astros too, so that's a thing. So yeah, I guess I'll root for Philadelphia. Is the water boy in there? Sweet. Well, thank you. I wish me well on the trip there too. I don't care what anyone says. Now, if we don't get Wembanyama, I'm laughing at every tanking fan so they can leave to another team. I mean, we have the Spurs, like, are the one of the three worst teams in the NBA, and then still don't get to draft it. Or can you imagine the Spurs had the first overall pick and they draft a guard not named Scoot Henderson? All five people fighting over those T-shirts. There's more than five there. I know. I might as well play in the game. Let's put a 45-year-old dude in there. Let's see what he has. Kata Bates, yeah, finished with 17 points tonight. I didn't realize he had that many buckets, but I did say his name a lot. So a decent outing for him. I'm an Astros dire fan. How can you root for the Yankees be an Astros fan? That's sacrilegious. Wow, it is empty there in San Antonio. It is emptying out. 50-year-old Zhang. And anyway, I don't know what happened to Jeremy Sohan. Maybe it might be the illness he had earlier, Phil, in the week that it caught up to him tonight running around. Maybe he's got a stomach ache. Uh, Nausea, just might not be feeling well and just needed to get off the court. I get that, Sugar Day. How many turnovers? We got to have like 20 now. We have to be at around 20. Got to be around 20. I hate to say that, but got to be around 20. Hall with the ball out in three-point land right now. We'll dish it off to, I think that's Branham. Yep, Branham with the ball. Back out to another turnover. Another fast break. Layup, good. Down by 40. We have given up a absurd amount of fast break points tonight. Absurd amount of fast break points. Brandon for three, no good. And now a hard foul down the other end. Oh, no foul. Ball's just going to go out. I thought there was a foul. No foul. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Wow, first, last. Calling it like he sees it. Fair. No excuse for this. Is a terrible effort, Opinion Sports Show. This has been a dunk drill. Not even a layup drill, a dunk drill for the Raptors tonight. As the Spurs are getting embarrassed at home. Branham pull-up jumper is good. Branham's actually having a decent fourth quarter. I'm actually going. Jakob has 5 turnovers and 6 points. He has 5 turnovers tonight. What a bad game for Jakob Poeltl. And then you see games like this with Jakob, and you go, maybe he's not the guy. I'm not saying he's not the guy, but he occasionally has a dud like this, and you just look and you're like, what the hell happened? Oh, why am I still calling this nightmare of a game? Why am I still calling this game, guys? Why am I still calling this game? Okay. I think that's going to do it. That was a pull-up 3 for, I don't even know who that is. Don't care for the Raptors. Toronto has 68 points in the paint. Want to see us down by 50? I don't want to see that. We're down 41. Baseline 3, no good. Uh, Spurs have 22 turnovers, and we're actually we're at 100. We're at our lowest viewers on the night, and I don't blame you guys. This is just not fun to call, not fun to watch, and that's an air ball, Spurs ball. I mean, this is not like the Spurs basketball team we saw at the beginning of the year at all. Gorgie Zhang for 3, no good. The team basketball that we saw, the passing, the chemistry, not there at all tonight. No, I gotta work. I'm not getting drunk. My friends, this game is clearly over. There's no point in me suffering here for 6 minutes with the Spurs down by 41 with 2 free throws coming up for Toronto. Rough game for our Spurs. I want to pull up the Spurs stats real quick to see who had a good night for us, if anybody did. So I'm going to look at some stats real quick, and then I'm going to call it a night. Appreciate those of you that are still here. Those of you that are stopping in. Bad night for the Spurs. For the Raptors, they were led by, go figure, Pascal. Oh, actually, Gary Trent Jr. was their highest scorer, 24. Siakam with 22. For the Spurs, Jakob, 6 points, 5 turnovers. Rough night for him and 6 boards. KBD with 17. Jeremy Sohan only played 9 minutes and 49 seconds. He had 2 points. Romeo Langford, 5 points. Trey Jones, 3 of 9 from the field. He did have 8 boards and 7 assists, 7 points, but his shooting has gone. Overall, the Spurs as a team are shooting 39%, only 32% from the field. 25 assists against 22 turnovers. They're down by 42. Yeah. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a night, guys. This is ugly. This was an ugly night. I'll be back Friday. Homer, you missed the Spurs getting killed. I'm wrapping up the stream. If you haven't did the thumbs up, would appreciate it if you did on the way out. There's no point sitting here. This is complete garbage time. We're down. My scoreboard's not even accurate anymore. We're down 125 to 181. And I'll end it here, right at the 5-minute mark. We're down 125-81 after an air ball 3 by one of our players. So, yeah, we got crushed. Hopefully we don't lose by 50 by the time I see the final score. Carlos, good evening. But I'm actually heading out because the Spurs are getting annihilated. So I thank you all for being here. I'll be back Friday. Hopefully, we show much better versus the Clippers. And that's all I got. What you gonna do when TSR Sports runs wild on you? Go Spurs, go. Good night, guys.